Okay, we should be live.
Hey, look at that. We're live. Oh. Not on YouTube, you're not.
Jesus,
On what?
YouTube.
I said, not on YouTube, you're not. It's a few seconds behind, Paul. There it is. You're live now. Hey, look at that. We're live. Okay, AZ, where are you? Come on, you can do it. We know you're there.
Yep. He'll pop in.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget to put the link in, April.
Yeah, I'm working on that right now. I wish it would just automatically do it, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, Mr. Skyfly is the man of the hour. All right.
What's up, Joel? How's it going?
There goes one link. And there's the other link. All right.
Yeah. I just wish it was set up so it just push one button and it does it all,
Yeah, yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like, because we get the same link every time, I just got it up in my header on my Google.
Yeah.
Oh, I just click on it, and boom, and it's here. I don't have to go searching or nothing else, right? So.
Yep. Good morning, Bill. Not too much activity this morning, but it's early. 3 people watching.
It's Friday morning. It's Friday.
Bill's in the chat?
Friday evening or Friday morning, we don't do very good, but Friday afternoon or evening or whatever, we do a lot better.
I don't see Bill's in the chat. I don't see him. I swear it's YouTube chat.
Mr. Skyfly.
Oh, I thought you said Bill. I thought the YouTube chat was screwing up on me.
Well, that is Mr. Skyfly. That's Bill, isn't it, Paul?
No, that's Joel.
That's who?
Joel.
Joel?
Yeah, I believe his name's Joel. If I remember
Okay,
correctly.
well, I
I'm
got him
horrible
mixed
with
up with our friend out there on the island.
Oh, no, that's Atlantic Adventures.
Okay, all right. Sorry about that, Joel. You're gonna have to just excuse this old man. Half the time, I don't know what the hell's going on. Joel's from West Branch. Okay. Yeah, my parents used to have a place in St. Helen, where the marathon station is, where you go into St. Helen. He used to go right up over the hill, and they built a like a little summer home there, right on the edge of the state land, just before the snowmobile trails go, or the other trail goes across over to the airport. That was a long time ago, but.
Where's West Branch in Michigan?
Yes,
Okay. Never heard of that.
West Branch.
I think the West Branch, they got that big model railroad store up there too, I think, in West Branch.
Do they? I don't know.
Forget the name of it. Just off I-76, like the ramp there at West Branch, there's a big model railroad place.
You ever been to it, or?
I think it was two at once. Is that up by Frankenmuth up that way too, isn't it? Frankenmuth is up there
Oh,
by,
it's further north.
is a little further north than
You know,
that. Yeah.
if here's the state of Michigan, be about here.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the highway goes, let's say here's Saginaw, the highway kind of meanders and goes
Yeah.
inward.
Yeah, Joel says he's about 15 minutes from that railroad
Yeah.
store or the hobby store.
Yeah. I think they have a big operating layout in it too, if I'm right.
Well, why wouldn't you if you were a store like that, right? Has something on display.
Yeah.
So how's everybody doing today? I hope good. Friday. It got a little cloudy and it's hazy, but it could be worse. As you can see, it's a little hazy out there, and I know me. What's the matter? What do you think? What's my baby?
It's pretty nice outside right now here.
What's temperature down there?
I want to say it's like mid 70s right now.
63 here right now.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Must be about 64.
I'm on the back porch
63.
right now.
63 too. Okay.
Yeah. Supposed to go to
Yeah.
70 today, so
I mean, it's still getting in the high 80s in the middle of the day, but
Yeah.
is it
it's definitely cooled off by 10, 12 degrees.
in today's first day of fall?
Let me see.
We're in Florida.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh,
Says 23rd is the first day of fall. Today's the 22nd.
Yeah, I can't wait till we start getting into the colder weather here pretty soon. There's about 4 or 5 months where it's pretty nice. It's not overly hot. It's just cold, cool.
On it.
no.
No, we were watching that those cameras down in Philadelphia last night. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
Jesus, those people are so screwed up down there.
You all said
Up
you had
there,
a slow
so-
day. You did a big automotive job yesterday. Only working on a vehicle. I might as well go be a homeless person, Paul. Over here in London, they're saying that the average cost of one bed for the homeless thing, to put them into a place here, is $110,000. $111,759 per bed is the average annual cost.
Really?
Holy crap, man! Give that money to the fucking senior. Half that money to seniors. Jesus.
Well, they putting them in apartments or something?
Oh, well, they're opening up these hubs to people experiencing homelessness, right? But they approved 3 hubs that will open up 44 beds this December, eventually increase to 73 beds at 5 locations. But with the operating cost of all 3 hubs is $8,158,362. So the average cost is $111,000, almost $112,000.
What's up, Mark? Yeah, we were watching that cam down in Philadelphia. They got a live pan camera. And oh my God, the amount of freaking homeless people and just all drugged out last night we were watching. And we were watching this one where this guy's got a camera and he walks around live and shows you what's going on. And we actually watched the lady get robbed last night.
Yeah.
And the cops were just driving by like nothing was going on. And they were just, she was all drugged out, passed out on the sidewalk. And 2 homeless guys came up to her and just started stealing all her shit off of her. And the cops were parked right down the street, just sitting there, like literally probably less than 100 yards from the lady, just sitting there, didn't do anything.
Hey, Frank the Tank, good morning. Woohoo! Long time no hear.
Yeah, how you doing, Frank?
What's up, Frank? And Mark popped in the chat too.
Mark. Hey, Mark. Good morning. Good afternoon. Yeah.
Mark White is here.
I don't know when the hell Mark sleeps. Jesus, seems like he's up all the time. And as far as I know, Matt should be going live tonight. He said he was going to go live from his mom. So
Oh, God, here we go. Now we got Ukrainian President Zelensky's in Canada. Going to address Parliament. Yeah, but everybody's cutting off his funding. You see, Poland, they pulled out, helping them anymore.
Well, Poland kind of half-assed helped them because Poland originally thought that they would give them MiGs to fight, and then they reneged on it. They didn't give it to them.
Yeah.
well, the US was using Poland as a staging ground because that's where they were shipping a lot of military equipment from.
Yeah, to Poland, then it gets to Ukraine from there, right?
Yeah, that's where they were sending all those F-16s to. They're
Well, I would
supposed to be
imagine
sending a
all
bunch
those countries are getting nervous because with China and Russia getting buddies.
Yeah.
Who's next? You know?
Well,
Well, you know,
and I know.
but you don't know what country is calling up the, president of Poland or whatever country and just saying, hey, if you don't do this, we're coming after you next. But they're not telling you that.
Well, if you look at pretty much what's going on right now, Russia's doing almost exactly what Germany did at beginning World War II.
Yeah, but the problem is Russia doesn't really have the sustainability to go any farther than they are right now. I mean, they couldn't even really bully a country that was, it'd be like the entire United States going against one state and not being able to win, That just, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, you could look at our history too. Look at our shortcomings in Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. We got our butts kicked there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so, there's so much going on behind the scenes. The people you're trying to help, they help you, want your help as long as you can sustain it. But then the minute you start to have an issue, it's like, oh, you got a problem.
But I mean, all's Ukraine is, and we were talking about it last night. All's Ukraine is a staging ground for the US military to test weapons. That's all it is. That's the only reason they're sending shit over there. It's so they can test it, see how well it does in actual combat.
Well, but here's
And
the other thing though. If we were serious about wanting to help Ukraine, we'd announce we're going to put an Air Force base in there and a military base in there and arm the shit out of Ukraine. But we're not.
no, because it's a proxy war.
Yep, it
Like I
is.
said, it's all it is for the US to test stuff and to get rid of surplus weapons that they would have otherwise just decommissioned.
Yep.
That's all it is. That's why they're sending F-16s over there because I guarantee the Air Force and stuff is gonna start retiring the F-16s here pretty soon in the next
Sure.
year or two. And so why not send them to a lesser country and let them fucking just use them for whatever? And
I
that's
mean,
what they're doing.
look at all the people, all the people we lost at the end of the Afghanistan thing, and all the military equipment we left behind. I mean, talk about stupidity. We left planes
Well,
on the ground, and they said, "Oh, well, they didn't work." Well, yeah, but aircraft mechanics can fix anything.
Well, the problem with there was a lot of military experts that brought up good points about the military equipment that was left there. Military equipment takes a lot of hours of maintenance per hour of use. Plus, we all know military equipment in the US, all the parts are manufactured in the US, so eventually they're not gonna be able to get parts for them anyway. And when they're specialized parts that you have to have special machines to make, they're not, that military equipment's only gonna last them so long, and then it's just gonna be trash. It wouldn't last more than a couple of years, and it's gonna all be
But why didn't they
broke
make a
down.
statement before they left? They should have bombed the shit out of all that stuff. If you're just going to leave it behind, you should have
Yeah.
destroyed it.
Well, I know a lot of
That's like leaving a gun alongside the road and it only has 6 bullets in it. Okay, if they use the 6 bullets, they got to get the other bullets. Well, don't leave the gun beside.
Well, this is why a lot of the military personnel, when they left the equipment, a lot of them were going around and sabotaging it before they left. They were pulling like vital computer system block, so there'd be like a computer control system, and they would just yank the
I
whole thing
understand
out.
that, but the symbolism is they go over and they take propaganda pictures of American big aircraft sitting on the ground right there, American tanks sitting on the ground right there. It's like, look what we did. Look what we did,
I mean, yeah, they should have bombed it, but that's why I said at least our military guys took it upon themselves to try to sabotage as much as they could before they left. Because there was tons of videos where guys were filming themselves and they were running around to all the helicopters and shit, and they were just yanking the computer control systems out.
Yep.
And trying to sabotage as much as they could before they left. But
anyway, every war is not a good thing, and I understand it, but we can't point the finger that we are the biggest, baddest in the world, because we've made our mistakes too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, Russia doesn't really have the means to really keep going though. I mean, like I said, they've actually lost so much equipment just in Ukraine. And
that's the reason they're buddying up with China.
And they don't really have the budget to rebuild everything. I mean, they have very few actual modern weapons. A lot of their shit is Soviet era weapons. Like the US has like 5,000 something change in tanks, where Russia has like what, 10,000 or something, but they're like 80% of them are all Cold War era tanks that really aren't that feasible by today's standards. They've just held on to them as like extra backup surplus.
But here's the same token. The tanks that they have might be World War II tanks, but you'd be tickled to death to have the damn things if you're fighting against a country that doesn't have nothing.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm saying like.
You know,
if
I
it
mean,
went-
yeah, you can't take those tanks and go invade China. You can't take those tanks and then go invade Europe. But, you know, for Ukraine, that's and now Ukraine is kind of punching them in the eye all the time with the drones. So
Well, I mean, and they've sabotaged their ports there too in Ukraine.
yep,
Was it Crimea where they took over Crimea? They've hit their ports there quite a few times. They blew up a couple submarines, a few ships. I mean, they've caused a lot of damage to Russia.
you know, Justin, do you think that you're ever going to get back into flying drones again, or pretty much done?
With all that new stuff coming out, I really just don't feel like dealing with any of it, to be honest with
Oh yeah, because it'll eat you up.
you. I think eventually it's gonna be standard. You're gonna have to have a 107 to fly. I think the hobbyist thing's gonna go away here pretty soon. They'll just force you to have to get a 107 to even fly, even if you're doing FPV, anything. And I think the weight limit on the drones too is gonna go down. They're gonna make it so they're gonna take
It'd
that
be like
250.
flying a butterfly.
Yeah, they're gonna take that 250 and take it down to like 100 grams or something ridiculous to where you can't even build a drone capable enough to fly anywhere. Cause I mean, it's gonna go down to the point where it's the size of a fucking Spark. And we all know the Spark can't really handle more than 1 mile an hour wind without getting, taken off on you when you're outside.
Mark's got a
so-
point. He says, what I don't understand is that every single country in the world is in debt. Who are they in debt to?
Well, that's the thing is like, if you look at the US debt, it's not really that very small portion of it's actually foreign debt, which is just US bonds that they sell to foreign countries. The rest of it's just the government borrowing from itself. It's not real. It doesn't exist.
Right.
It's the US government's taking $20 out of one pocket, they put it in another pocket, and they say, oh, it doesn't exist. Like 26 trillion, 27 trillion of the $30 trillion we're in debt doesn't even exist. It's not real.
It's like the current crisis here in the US is the Congress isn't going to fund the government anymore. Well, you're still going to have your mail service. You're still going to have your military. You're still going to have all of those things. They're not going to go lay everybody off.
No, and they always say that they're threatening a shutdown, but they always figure it out at the very last second. They do it every fucking time. And what's stupid is us and I think Switzerland are the only two countries in the world that actually have a debt ceiling. Nobody else does that but us.
Yeah.
In Switzerland, they make theirs so ridiculously high that they never reach it. So but I don't know why we don't do that. It's like every year we gotta fucking deal with that. And every year they fight in Congress over it, but they always end up figuring it out at the last minute. Because they don't want to default on anything, so.
Hey, Paul, how's your popular prime minister doing over there?
Oh, he's not doing good at all.
But they haven't done a vote of no confidence, so they can't.
No. Well, see, they can't because NDP is shoring up Trudeau, like that Jagmeet Singh. Everything that Trudeau does, and he wants change, he just dangles a little piece of meat in front of the NDP. Says, here, I'll give you this if you design here. Yeah. Problem is, you got to get rid of Jagmeet Singh, the NDP, because see, they have a coalition right now, which gives more power over the Conservatives, right? So they can bypass anything in Congress. We can just write a whatever. Well, see, you guys down there in the States, you got Biden writing checks like it's going out of style. Well, so do we.
Yep.
And see, the thing is, down there in the States there, the Democrats, well, they're liberals, the same as what we have here in Canada. We just you can't stop them right now. The only thing you do is keep driving them into the ground and get people next election to not vote for them. But
But there are a lot of smaller, going back to Mark's comment, there are a lot of smaller countries around the world that are actually in true debt to other countries
Yeah, yeah.
because they borrow money from them, like the US loans money to other countries, and China does the same thing.
Oh,
What do you
yeah.
think that Belts and Road Initiative is?
Yeah.
Well,
It's
what Mark was just saying too is that Birmingham in England, the city just declared itself bankrupt. I don't know what the hell that means. That mean everybody that stop
Uh,
paying any taxes you pay on a regular basis to the city? I don't get
no,
it.
what it means is they'll just do like any US city would. They'd file Chapter 11 type deal,
Just
whatever their
restructure
version of that
it.
is.
They just go in and do a restructure, that's all.
Yeah, they file bankruptcy and then the cities, all cities' debts get wiped out and then they start over pretty much.
So they
Hey,
pretty much
good
screwed
morning, Laura.
the little guy.
And
All right.
Laura just came in, and AZ.
Hey,
Laura,
Laura,
David.
AZ.
I don't know if you guys been following what's happening over here. We had Justin Trudeau now is accused India of doing killings in Canada. There's one guy that was dead. So now India has banned any business going into India from Canada now. So the big war going on between Canada and India. But now there's apparently another death of another Sikh, one of the 10 most wanted out of India, just got killed yesterday here in Canada. And Justin is saying that India is doing it. Foreign government is killing people on our land. Well, now everything's in chaos right now. So
Your breadcrumbs. I don't get what you're talking about, Laura.
Hmm.
But oh, with the new Apple is officially out of China now because the iPhone 15 is the first iPhone that's gonna say made in India instead of China now.
well, I got it's not thing, but it's I got an iPhone 12 Pro Max now. Holy frig, this phone is heavy.
Well, China's losing a lot of manufacturing now to India and even Mexico, surprisingly. Mexico's been stealing a lot of their manufacturing. That's the thing is you start moving all the manufacturing out of China really slowly over the next few years. Get about 80–90% of it out of there and then just everybody stop dealing with them. Boom, bankrupt their ass overnight, put them back in the dark ages. Be done with it. That's exactly what we need to do. Because that's the thing is even there's a lot of American companies and other companies from around the world that are starting to mass exodus out of China now. And I know Temu's catching a lot of crap right now from the what is it, the reporting agency where you report fraud and stuff to, from businesses and stuff. They've been getting a shit ton of complaints about Temu. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get put on the chopping block here pretty soon.
Now, who owns Temu?
It's some Chinese company. Just like Wish.com.
Really?
But Temu used to be rebranded as a different name. And their app got caught with all kinds of like spyware and just crap in it that was like spying on people's phones and stuff. So they banned it and then Temu, they rebranded it and made it into Temu. I don't remember what the name of it was before. And that's where there's a security concern as well over Temu over that. But they've
Really?
been getting a lot of complaints to the what's the name of the bureau where you report stuff for fraud, like companies? Not the Better Business Bureau, it's fuck, I can't think of it right now. But yeah, but I was watching a news conference thing the other day and they were talking about it and they said they've been getting thousands and thousands of complaints every day about
Huh,
them. Yeah, I'd never download that app on my phone or that app, the Temu app alone just looks sketchy as hell. Like it looks like one of those websites that tries to sell you scam shit. That's exactly what the app reminds me of. Where it says you can get this deal within the next 2 minutes and then the timer just keeps resetting. It was ICC, is that was the name of it, David? Yeah, I can't remember. I was FTC.
Commerce Commission?
Oh, what's up, Max? Yeah, I watched it, Laura. You were definitely stretching that a little bit. I told TJ to get up with you, Max, about that controller, by the way. If he was
Oh,
still
yeah,
interested in
yeah.
it. Cause he's got two motion controllers. He's got the original and the second version of it that's coming with the Avata. And just really wasn't interested in those because obviously we all know it kind of limits your speed and everything with it. So he was looking at getting the actual controller for it. Yeah, I know what you were on about, Laura.
Huh.
I heard it. Like I said, you were reaching a little bit. Slightly sounded like that. I've never even downloaded it on my phone, to be honest with you, Joel.
Temu?
I've just seen the app that other people are using it and it just looks so fucking sketchy. Like I said, it looks like a scam website that's been put in an application. That's exactly what it looks like to me. I know a lot of people are getting really cool deals and stuff on there, but I'm not putting that shit on my phone or my computer. I won't even go to the website.
Yeah.
I watch,
Max Share 420s, there we go.
Hey, Max there.
yeah, I was just talking to him.
Yeah.
I just watch people do videos on Temu on Amazon or on
Max
YouTube.
there's the one that's got the extra controllers, right?
Yeah, I contacted him yesterday to find out if he had an extra controller for the Avata that TJ could probably buy from him. Maybe he could get a deal through. Cause what Max does is Max will go on Facebook Marketplace and he'll find like an Avata, like Flymore kit, right? And he'll talk them down, get it really cheap, and then he'll sell all the extra stuff and just keep the drone itself. And then if he can sell it for enough money, he'll end up getting the drone for free.
Yeah,
So,
or at least at a big discount.
right, so that's what Max likes to do to flip drones. He'll sell all the extra batteries and the goggles and all the crap he doesn't need because he already has it. But yeah, Max said something about he was pretty sure he had one, but he was going out of town for a couple days. When he got back, he'd look. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Captain Joe.
You want to talk about a company that floods your emails with coupons? Harbor Freight. Jesus, sign up for their
Yeah.
stuff. Dude, you'll be getting the coupons like every day. You'll be getting like 5 emails with coupons in it. And that might have been Joel because the damn app was going into your phone and doing some sketchy shit and overriding the notification shut off. I wouldn't be surprised. That's why I said I wouldn't trust that app on my phone. Like, nope, you ain't turning the notifications off. We're still gonna send them to you.
Hey, Captain Joe. All right. Oh, jeepers. Yeah, I'm sitting relaxing, and I'm gonna go crazy later on.
Well, you got a lot of driving to do.
Yeah, got to go to London, got to go to Strathroy, then over to Shedden. I got to put a sign up in London. I got a aerial to do, a big aerial to do in Strathroy, and then I got another aerial to do in Shedden on the way home. Then I got to come back and edit everything, but I was going to go to the trailer today, but I just don't have enough time to get ready to go. So I'm not going to go to the trailer till tomorrow morning. Go down.
That's gonna throw your regular schedule off a bit, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and to the trailer, it's getting down to the point where, you only got probably a few more weekends left, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now you winterize the trailer, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well,
And that's the one thing that I don't understand about China, right? Is if China could actually build decent products that weren't absolute trash, they could easily, I mean, they already do most of the manufacturing in the world at the moment. But about 90% of that, what comes out of there is absolute garbage. Like, if they could actually build
Right.
stuff
what? Both sides.
that
What?
could compete against a US company's build, dude, they would have the market. But every time I'm watching these YouTube channels where they're ordering shit, like I was watching Beards and was it Beards and Bikes or whatever, and Bikers on YouTube. He does he orders all these Chinese bikes from China to just review them, like scooters and bikes and stuff. And just the quality on all of them are absolute shit compared to US and Japanese companies. Like it's just garbage. But yet they're wanting to sell it to you for the same price as you could go buy a Honda or a Harley for, right?
Right.
Or go buy a Kawasaki or whatever, just any good foreign company or US company, and I don't know, just garbage.
Hey, Paul, what are the kids playing?
Oh, yeah. They've been wrestling here
I
this
was
morning.
gonna say they're running back and forth behind you and
Well, looks like Gracie going outside now.
Oh, yeah, he does, Joel. I give him crap about it all the time. I make fun of his orders all the time when he orders stuff from there. Like his little mini chainsaw he ordered. I give him so much crap about that though. I'm a big hater on that. Facts, figures, and percentages exactly, Max. I'll have pie charts for you later for you to look at. But there's just very few things that the Chinese are actually designing and building themselves that is okay. That's like good products, like DJI drones for one. That's a good product that they're designing and building themselves. But that's a rarity coming out of China. You know what I'm saying? That's not something like that's one of every million products that they're making is actually decent. But if you had an American company just dump in billions of dollars and just go full-fledged like against DJI and just started building drones and manufacturing them at a large pace and designing them, I guarantee you that their drones would be far, far superior in almost every way if they actually took the time to do it. I mean, granted, they'd probably cost you. I don't even think the price would be that much more, to be honest with you. But the price hike in Chinese manufacturing costs now. Cause I mean, let's face it, a Skydio drone didn't really cost you much more than a decent Mavic would. Wasn't much more expensive. And they produced a lot far less of them too. Yeah, and bar grass, exactly, Max. I'll have bar grass for you too. Cause I mean, let's face it too, how many times has DJI been sued because of over copy, from designs that they apparently stole from American companies. I mean, they've been sued 3 or 4 times in big lawsuits over that. Where American companies have said they stole their design for certain things. Oh, no, Matt's diagrams, that's for kids. It's drawn with crayon, It's something you'd show a elementary student. Like kindergarten, right? It's not for advanced people or. I messaged him actually earlier just to make sure he was going live tonight. He hasn't answered me back yet. Mark. Yeah, Max though is very technical. He likes graphs and all that, and pie graphs. I like pictures and coloring books. Well, the mat would be perfect for you to Max to explain things to.
I'm still listening,
Hey,
guys.
Laura, I sent him stuff almost a week ago, and I sent him a link last night, and I sent him a message today, and he hasn't looked at any of them. He hasn't been a messenger for over a week now, for about a week now, which I'm assuming. I don't know if he has Messenger on his phone or not. I have a feeling he only has it on his computer. But I could be wrong. I don't know. And I can't text him because the international number doesn't work for me. But yeah, I sent him a link last weekend. This weekend, I asked him how his trip was going, and I asked him if he was going live today over the past week, and he hasn't looked at any of them. Well, what Matt are you talking about, Max? I'm
Well,
talking about Matt
he
Northeast.
asked me what time you want him to come down and mow the lawn.
I mean, I probably could call him on Messenger. He probably would answer.
Alrighty.
I mean, what? It's 10. 11:43 there right now. So it's 11:43 at night. I'm sure he's still up because he's kind of a late bird. I don't know if he does, Mark. I don't even know anybody that uses WhatsApp except for scammers.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't use WhatsApp.
Oh, I never no interest in what that.
Like I
Yeah,
said, I don't even know anybody that actually uses it. It's really popular in India, WhatsApp.
yeah.
But that's where a lot of the scams come out of too, and that's why they were using WhatsApp for a lot of their scams. They'd put in people's comment sections, they would do these fake accounts to look like the creator of the account, and they'd be like, "Oh, you want a prize? Hit me up on WhatsApp." And they give you a number for WhatsApp so you could get in touch with them, and they'd try to scam you out of money. It was a big issue on YouTube for a while, and then all the big creators started complaining to YouTube about it, and YouTube finally kicked it in the ass and started going after them. Okay, Lori, well, you're the first one I know that uses it then. Like I said, it's really popular over in India.
Yeah.
I just don't really have a need for it, to be honest with you. I can either text message a person or get up in touch with them on Messenger.
Yes.
And anybody that doesn't have one of those two are usually the paranoid ones that don't like Facebook anyway, so they're definitely not going to have WhatsApp on their phone. Those are usually the people that give me their emails. There's only a few people in the drone community I have to contact through email. Other than that, oh yeah, Telegram. That's still around. I've
Telegram?
never used. Yeah, I've never used that one either, but I've heard of it.
I never heard of Telegram before, but that might be a European thing, right? So
I think you can get it here in the US. I've heard of it before. It's the same one I'm thinking of. Let's see here. Yeah, yeah, you can get it here in the US. Telegram. Like I said, like 90% of the people on YouTube, I can either contact them through Messenger or I have their phone numbers. And there's just like a handful of people, like 3 or 4 people that I have to contact or email because they don't do any social media. So they're not going to be using any of those apps anyway. So I got quite a few people in the drone community phone numbers. I can just call them on the phone. I want to say David's company that he used to work for back in the day, I think Designed was one of the original designers for the encryption that WhatsApp now uses, if I remember correctly.
What kind of encryption?
It's a peer-to-peer encryption. It's just so people can't intercept your messages in between. Like a third party can't intercept your messages while you're talking back and forth with somebody. I wanna say,
Yep.
back in the day, not too many years ago, David's company that he worked for was actually the ones that designed it. That sort of encryption, and then a few years later, he said that WhatsApp had started using it.
Not a lot going on in the lakes today.
No, with a ship coming up there right now, Paul.
Yeah, it's Algoma.
Oh yeah, I saw your gaming video earlier, your little quick build you did, Laura. What's up, Jonathan? Got Jonathan Jackson in the house?
I did a couple, actually, I did 3 ships in the dark last night.
Did you?
Yep. Got one left to edit.
You'd be surprised how many people watch those videos, Laura. But the one thing that I've noticed, like they're real popular, like when they're doing the Sims builds like that, is you gotta kind of narrate over what you're doing and what you're planning to do, and kind of makes for a good video.
Yeah, instructional videos are very helpful. You know, like if you need to figure out how to do something, I always go to YouTube and it's like somebody's already dealt with that issue.
I hate when you go to YouTube to find a video about an issue you're having with a particular product and nobody's done a video on it. And you're like, damn it, then you get stuck in this, like, trying to figure out the situation yourself. You know, because these days it's so easy to find videos on everything. Or you'll find a crap ton of videos on it and nobody happens to touch on that one issue you're having. You know, I've run across that plenty of times too, and it's just, that really gets annoying. Hey, Jonathan, did you ever subscribe to Matt's channel, Northeast Drone Productions? If not, you should stop by. I don't remember if you stopped by in the chat over there, but it's pretty fun live stream.
Yeah.
Matt from Australia. The one that you said was funny because me and him were going back and forth in the comments with each other. 'Cause we're always giving each other shit.
So Matt is going live from his mother's house tonight.
He said that on his last show last week that he'd be going live from his mom. So as far as I know, he should be going live tonight. So. And like I said yesterday, he was meeting up with Mars for to go on a ride. He took a scooter up there to his mom's and he was gonna be near Mars, so Mars was gonna meet up with them and they were gonna go on a ride together. Mars just got a new one of the electric unicycles. He just got a new one the other day. Those guys spent so much money on that shit too. Matt's scooter was $6,000 in Australia. If you bought it over here, you'd be looking at about 4,200 for it.
Really?
No, David, do you have a link to that though? So we can hear it? I didn't even know there was a video out about that. But I'm definitely damn curious to watch it.
So the pilot must have privately contacted 911? 911?
Do what now? Yeah, I guess it was probably the 911 call. Probably somebody calling 911 saying the pilot was in their backyard.
Yeah.
Oh, he posted the link for it. Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. Oh, you got it already?
Yep.
Oh, that one there. Yeah, I read that earlier this morning.
Ejected from the plane, so we just see if we could get some ambulance, please.
I'm sorry, what happened?
We have a military jet crash. I'm the pilot. We need to get rescue rolling. I'm not sure where the airplane is. It would have crash landed somewhere. I ejected.
Oh, that don't sound like an Italian pilot or whatever, or French pilot like Joe was saying yesterday.
Huh. That's interesting.
That'd have been a hell of a sight, right? Random military guy just landing in your backyard with a parachute.
Yeah. Well, you can bet the military's gonna pay that homeowner or something.
Honestly, I'm surprised they even let the local PD to release that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Here we go. David sent a more detailed video to me. There we go.
I guess we got a pilot at our house, and he says he got ejected.
This morning, a dramatic 911 call is giving new insight into a $100 million mystery. What caused an F-35 fighter jet to go missing, then crash in rural South Carolina? The pilot ejected and landed in the backyard of a home near North Charleston earlier this week. The stunned homeowner called 911.
I'm sorry, what happened?
We got a pilot in the house, and I guess he landed in my backyard, and we were trying to see if we could get a ambulance to the house, please.
Then the pilot took the phone.
How old is the patient?
47. So we had a military jet crash. I'm the pilot. We need to get rescue rolling. I'm not sure where the airplane is. It would have crash landed somewhere. I ejected.
The 47-year-old pilot described a harrowing escape.
How far did he fall?
I was at 2,000 feet.
Okay, and what caused the fall?
An aircraft failure.
The Marine Corps says the pilot ejected around 1:30 Sunday afternoon, and residents reported feeling their homes shaking after 2, meaning the plane could have been flying on autopilot for more than a half hour. The pilot ejected in North Charleston, but the jet ended up 80 miles away in Williamsburg County.
Usually airplanes, other military aircraft in which the pilot ejected, the airplane will fly for a while, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. But several minutes, that is surprising.
According to Department of Defense officials, the pilot was taken to the hospital and released on Monday. A stunning story of survival after that mysterious crash. And now, guys, the officials say that crash site is secure, including the airspace around it, and that investigation will last now for several months, Savannah.
Blaine, any more information on why it took so long to find that jet?
Yeah, there were several factors involved in the Savannah. One, the weather that day was just bad. They were dealing with heavy thunderstorms, so that made visibility low. Also, their focus at the time was finding the pilot. That was put first. But the Marine Corps also says that several of the security features on that jet also made it difficult to track. For instance, the stealth capabilities, they say, made it so that they had to use non-traditional means to find that fighter jet, Savannah.
Okay, Blaine, thank you very much.
I love how people keep asking the obvious question. Why couldn't you find the stealth fighter? Because it was fucking stealth. Like, why didn't you?
But why does it need to be stealth over top of the U.S.? It needs to be stealth, in another country, but over the U.S., like, really?
Well, the thing is there's 4 little, like David was showing me the other night, there's these, and they were also talking about it in a news story. There's these 4 little mirrors that they pop out, that will pop out of the jet.
Yeah.
And what that does is allow local radar and all that to be able to see it when it's flying in friendly airspace or over the US. But they didn't have those mirrors popped out during the training exercise.
Yeah.
And the pilot, of course, ejected before he could put them out. And so they didn't know where the plane was. None of those airports around there were seeing that thing. But like I said, I love how they keep asking that same stupid question. Well, why couldn't you locate it? It had nothing to do with storms. It's because it was a stealth fighter. It was literally doing what it was meant to do, hide from radar.
So how does air traffic control stop that jet from running into other airplanes if it's stealth, especially here in North America? Like, you got to be able to see it, right? No?
I mean, you can say all day long that the FAA has control of the airspace, but when it comes down to it, the military can do whatever the hell they want. The Air Force wants to do something. They don't give a shit about the FAA. They might contact them as a courtesy, but they're still going to do what they want.
Yeah.
The FAA ain't going to tell them nothing. Well, you got to remember too that plane's so advanced that it's going to see anything around it anyway, so it would be able to avoid the other aircraft without the other aircraft having to worry about it, Because you're talking about it's got radars on the tip of it where it can see, 200-300 miles out, everything that's around it.
Well, until we know exactly what went wrong with the aircraft that caused him to bail out, did he have an electrical malfunction? Did he lose some of the systems? Did he lose control systems? Or
But
it's all fly by wire,
But the thing is, it flew for another 80 freaking miles.
Exactly, and that brings up the question that you're talking about, Paul.
Yeah.
For that 80 mile or 30 mile or whatever it did, were there any other aircraft in that area at any given time during that period, and at what altitude, and all those kinds of things?
But usually what happens when a guy ejects out of an aircraft, that thing crashes about within 30 seconds after the guy bails, right? But this one here flew for how long? And did 180 miles?
Well, that's why I'm kind of thinking it might have been pilot error. I think he thought something was wrong with the jet, and it probably wasn't, and he prematurely ejected. And because obviously the plane was fine, I mean, it flew. So. That's true, Jonathan. Oh yeah, there ain't gonna be no remote ID on that damn thing. I'll tell you that. That's why I said the military can pretty much do what they want. The FAA ain't gonna tell them they can't fly if they wanna fly. They're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, you're right, Justin. They can and they do whatever they want. They don't ask anybody.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they wanna do an exercise, they might call the FAA, but it's a courtesy call. That's
It's a
it.
courtesy call. Yep.
It's not to ask for permission. Cause they don't have to explain nothing to the FAA. 90% of the shit they're doing is classified. They don't have to have an explanation. Oh my God, Russell. But like I said, back to Paul's question, what about other aircraft? But if the pilot's doing the correct job, actually that plane should avoid anything around it to where the other planes really
Yeah.
don't need to worry about it.
Well, and we may
You
never
know.
hear all the details of the investigation,
no.
and they
Those
said that
are-
it could take them months to finalize it.
Yeah, Russell goes, yeah, premature ejaculation. Ejaculation, yeah, that's it.
Oh, we'll probably never get the full story because that's the thing is we all know that airplane crash investigations take months, if not a year or two. And by the time it comes out, dude, everybody's gonna done forget about this. And
They go, oh, well, that was a year ago.
And all of the different investigating agencies from the manufacturer on down through the government,
oh yeah, you're gonna have the military out there. You might have the NTSB try to get involved, but I doubt they'll have really any say in the investigation because
Now,
it's military.
who would be the manufacturer? Would that be Boeing or who?
I think who did the design for that 35. Hold on.
You can bet that their engineering department is going to be involved in it.
Yeah, but I doubt the NTSB will even be involved in that. Because it's military, it's top secret. They're not gonna have those guys out there investigating nothing. It was Lockheed Martin that did the
Lockheed
F-35.
Martin. Okay.
We're on the vehicle side in the distance,
Well, the other thing the NTSB might be willing to do out there, and they might be allowed to willingly do that, is to make sure that the response and everything went according to plan,
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like I said, by the time they figure out what happened,
Yep.
most likely people aren't gonna care anymore
It's
by that
it's
time.
yeah, it's gonna be old news.
And it'll be swept under the rug though. There might be a few people that will report on it, that monitor that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's not gonna be national news when it finally comes out. Hopefully it went back into sports mode, Max says.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, Paul, I got to get my day started.
Okay, Paul, you take care.
Yep. We'll see you guys.
We're not going to be on that much longer anyway, Justin, because we got 9 people watching.
So what's going on over there behind you, Paul?
Don't know.
It's Sonia Fire Department Rescue. Huh. Guy's putting a life jacket on for something. Huh? Anyways, okay, guys, catch you later on
Okay,
tonight.
Paul, we'll see you.
Yeah.
Later.
Bye.
Well, that's the thing, Jonathan, is like the pilot said it was a mechanical failure of something. Obviously, none of us know what that actually was. But the plane flew fine for another additional 80 miles on autopilot, so I have a feeling that if that was the case, it was probably pilot error. he didn't read something correctly or didn't do something correctly and ejected. Well, I said, we'll probably never know the truth. I mean, a lot about those planes like the F-22, all that shit's classified, so you probably won't ever get a true answer on what happened.
Yeah, Joe says it's only the important people are here. Are watching.
Yeah, but it's an interesting situation for sure, though. So we'll probably never know. And by the time, like I said, the investigation comes out, nobody's gonna care anymore. It'll be old news. I mean, news moves so fast these days that you'll miss big events sometimes and won't even realize something happened. Because there's so much damn news coming out all at one time.
Yeah, Skyfly says, sounds like the pilot had plenty of time to make an emergency landing somewhere.
Oh yeah, there's 13,000 and some change airports in the US. You know, 13,000 plus airports. So I'm sure there was an airport somewhere around there. And that was the one that had the vertical takeoff and landing because it was the Marine version
Right.
for the assault ships. So there's no reason he couldn't. He could have landed in the field. He could have just landed in a field somewhere. It didn't even have to be an airport. I mean, he could have landed in the middle of a neighborhood if he had enough room.
Sure. Or on a highway or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Mark, they're never gonna own up to what went wrong. Because there's three different versions of the F-35. You have the Air Force version, which is just your standard version. You have the Marine version with the vertical takeoff. Then you have the Navy version, which has the foldable wings and the stronger landing gear for the arrestor wires for when it lands. That's the three different versions there are. Yeah, Jonathan, that's what I'm saying. He's lucky he didn't get injured though, you know, because back in the day, they said, you know, a lot of pilots, when they would have to eject, it would cause a lot of bodily injury back in the day from the G-forces and everything pushing you out of there. That a lot of times that would end pilots' careers after their first ejection. Maybe it's gotten better with the newer jets, but, or maybe he just wasn't going that fast to where it really hurt him. But he's lucky he didn't have no serious injuries that we know of.
Right.
I'm glad he's safe and everything, like, for sure. That's true, yeah, if only if he had control of the aircraft. That's the thing is those ejection seats have enough power to eject you right off the ground high enough to where you can land with the parachute. Like, so the plane can be on the runway and you can eject from it and it will shoot you far enough in the air to release the parachute and you be able to land safely. So, I mean, I think he maybe should have tried to attempt to land it, but like I said, we just don't know all the variables, so it's hard to say. It's possible, Jonathan. I wouldn't want to be the guy that lost $100 million fighter though. You know, all I was thinking of was the movie Hot Shots. And she was talking about, she's like, in the movie, she was like, oh, you got in trouble for crashing a $60 million fighter. And he goes, yeah, I'm paying it off $20 a week. He's like, they're taking $20 a week out of my paycheck to pay it off. uh, and it's just good. I'm actually happier too that it actually, landed on our soil versus out in the middle of the ocean or somewhere else where, the Russians or somebody could have went out there and tried to steal it. We definitely don't need them getting a hold of one of those. Well, these things are gonna happen. There's been 3 accidents with the military in the past. What was it, 3 months? There was an FA-18 pilot that crashed and was killed. There was the 3 service members on the Osprey over in Australia that were killed. And then this crash, the pilot survived, thank God. But that's gonna happen, because I mean, you gotta remember the US Air Force, the Marines, the Navy, these guys are doing thousands of sorties every day all over the world. Thousands. And so, I mean, the chances of crashes happening are just way higher. So it's gonna happen. Nothing you can do about that. But yeah, if anybody didn't know, we actually lost 3 service member over in Australia last month. Osprey crashed. And then the FA-18 pilot, I think, was flying over near San Diego and ran into the side of a hill. And I guess he didn't inject in time. And wrecked into the side of the hill. I think it was in San Diego, around San Diego area. We're right in the side of like a small little mountain or hill. Some of these pilots, they'll go to their death just trying to keep that plane away from, a populated area. Because that's part of their training is when that plane's going down, they want to try to put it down in an area where it's not going to kill anybody. And that may have been what that FA-18 pilot was doing. And just didn't, couldn't eject quick enough. Yeah, that's true too, Joel. Yeah, like that's crazy. It's just good that it landed in the middle of a rural area. Because flying 80 miles, dude, it could have crashed right in the middle of a city or something, major city. Or, because when it first went missing, they were estimating that it went as far as 500 miles because they were going by how much fuel it had in it. And so they weren't even sure at the very beginning. They were estimating up to 500 miles. Didn't they put a reward out though if somebody found it? So I know they were asking the public for help finding it.
I don't know. I don't think there was a reward. I know they were asked for any help or information.
My thing though is I'm wondering if who actually found it because they never did say who found the debris field. So I'm wondering who actually found it. Was it like a pilot and a little plane flying over, or was there people out in the woods hunting and happened to run across it? Or I don't think they ever said who actually was the people that found it. $50, Joe said. but some people saw it flying inverted. Oh, wouldn't that be crazy? A freaking jet coming over you at 1,000 feet and you don't see no pilot in it? It's just flying inverted over you.
Yeah, that would be scary, wouldn't it?
And probably a good thing too, that there was no missiles or anything on it. I don't know if there actually was, but I know that they design a lot of those missiles and bombs not to actually be able to go off without a specific set of triggers, even if they get into wrecks or, you know, get into an explosion. Cause that's like nuclear bombs. You can't really set those off without a exact set of, you know, it has to go through a certain set of steps to be able to trigger it. You can't just walk up to a nuclear bomb and smack it with a hammer and it goes off. Oh, I bet if they would have put a reward out there, you'd have had a lot of pilots flying around there looking for that thing. Alright, Paul, I'm gonna jump off. I got some stuff I gotta get done.
Okay, I guess we'll shut her down, everybody. Hey, thanks for being here. We'll
You bet.
we'll see all of you again soon.
And hopefully I get an update tonight whether Matt's going live. I'll let you guys know if you message me back.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright, everybody.